I totally understand how people are viewing it. I did not connect all of Jeremy's drama and bullshit to Melanie. I did not. When I interviewed her, it was to speak on these other topics, and I just I wasn't. I didn't think she was responsible for what Jeremy did, if that makes sense. I'm thinking I'm just talk to her about what I want to talk to her about, which is my conversion, which is not something I have to like research because I just went through it, look into it. And one friend is saying it's a nothing burger. It's like that cancels each other out. And then when in my tweet where I was like, what's going on with Jeremy? Everyone's like, he's a cuck. He's a cuck. It's like, I'm not interested in his love life. Okay. I think anybody can understand these are conflicting, confusing messages. And the friend I'm about to do a stream with is saying it's no big deal. So I'm kind of going to go with that because that is who I'm going to speak with. If that makes sense. I knew everything I knew now and like putting all the dots together. And I have spent so much time these last few days literally ignoring my toddler to the point where he's in tears and making a fucking fit. But mommy's got to get up on the quartering drama. So tough shit. Watch Sesame Street. And that's what we had to do these last few days. So, again,
Chrissy, I'm really sorry that happened.
Like I did today, back then, it would have been a completely different interview. Yeah, I didn't see that message
so there's
before I streamed with Melanie. I was focusing on Melanie and these issues that I'm dealing with. It was literally taking place the whole morning of before I streamed with Melanie. So I'm focusing on my private stuff. And then at night, I had my stream with Melanie. So again, like hindsight is 2020. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't connect Melanie to Jeremy's drama. I didn't realize that what he did was her in some way she was complicit in. Like the tweet you're mentioning, I didn't see it. I'm not like up on everything. I'm not watching everybody's content. The only video that I ended up watching,
well, it was trending for like 3 weeks.
Okay, that's great. But you know what's also trending is my fucking personal life and the shitstorm that is my dad being murdered and other stuff that I don't want to get into. So sometimes
you don't have to.
Sometimes your 2-year-old does take precedent over the quartering drama. And I wish I could.
Yeah, but you're choosing to work.
My job is to be a mother. I stream to make diaper money. And again, I already said I dropped the ball. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I already said in the moment, I was so overwhelmed by the chat and I froze. And my instinct was to like protect my friend. And looking back, I now feel stupid because she probably expected all of that. Where I was not expecting 1,000 oranges. I was not expecting 1,000 brooms. And has anybody tried to like have a stream with Melanie where this stuff is specifically called out, or a stream with Jeremy where this, I don't know. From what I see on Twitter, there's very much a call for me to talk about this stuff. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if I didn't? That's not bullying, though. Can you imagine if I just like didn't bring this up? How bad that would. I was never wanting to talk about the quarterings drama.
But that conflicts with your brand, your free speech. You profit off of being free speech, and you have to be operating.
I'm just trying to explain that I had Melanie on.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Conversion, and I had her on to talk about her wedding. What does that have to do with Jeremy's drama? It's Melanie
because she co-signed deplatforming.
Like it's almost like you're not listening to what I'm saying. I didn't know Melanie.
I am.
Of course, after the fact, this is all coming together. But when I was going into that interview with Melanie, I didn't know she was co-signing the deplatforming. I didn't know if she was encouraging it or saying it was okay. I didn't think his mistakes had anything to do with her. I'm not as online as I was 2 years ago. I wish I don't wish I vaccinated my kid and put him in daycare. Yeah, I'd have a ton more time, but then he'd be having myocarditis and possibly dying in daycare. So I'm really sorry I didn't have as much time to do internet research before interviewing my friend about my conversion and her wedding.
But do you see how that sounds like a lack of accountability? Because it's like, well, I'm just here because I had to be. That's how it comes across.
No, I have this show every Sunday at 9:00. And this is the drama that came up for me this week. So, of course, I have to address it on my show. Yeah, I hope
So-
everybody who had their channels taken down by him gets them back. That's really messed up, and that's not cool. Okay, I hear what you're saying. That my job that night, Brittany, was to talk to Melanie about my conversion and her wedding and Catholic stuff. My job that night was not to press her on the quartering because I did not link her with the quarterings drama. I think I just
Platforming.
explained how I didn't have time to research
Well,
and I have a lot going on. You're looking at that as
So-
a Monday morning quarterback. You can now look at the end of the stream and go, "Wow, I messaged her," and then the show went on for 40 minutes, but I didn't know
Okay.
how long the show was gonna go on for. I was trying to wrap it up, and then I was like, "Holy crap,
Well,
look
you're
at
the
all this
host.
stuff." And then it took that much longer to finish.
You're the
So,
host, though.
of course, I'm just trying to explain to you, like, in your mind, you thought there was enough time to come on. In my mind, it was late. I was trying to wrap it up. I was not trying to ambush. I was not trying to gotcha. And hold on, let me not ignore the chat because I did that last time. Kentucky Tim, thank you for the super chat. Brittany needs to mind her own business. Mel Biz is her own. Chrissy's is her own troublemaking middle schooler mentality by both Kim and Britt. Friends stand behind each other without pulling knives. Shame on both of you. Thank you, Tim.
Friends?
Out of all the gay drama on FND, this is by far the gayest. Chrissy didn't do anything wrong. It's not your responsibility to keep up with everyone's brain dead drama. This isn't a cult. First of all, yes, it is my responsibility to keep up with everyone's brain dead drama. Thank you, though.
Well, this isn't brain dead drama. This is about platform. I don't like that dismissal. This is about deplatforming. Like, this isn't just brain dead drama.
It wasn't even just that they got flagged. It was his entire thing about, like, I'm going to take everything that you have. Like, excuse me? Who the fuck are you?
So
is this brain dead drama?
Andy Worski and his father retard friends shitting on people. That's the hill. Brittany, thank you, Zato. And again, I'm not gonna like
quite the super chats choose to read, but I need to know, is this considered brain dead drama, or is it, hey, like, there's a legitimate thing about platforming and not just deplatforming whoever criticizes?
Platforming is not okay. People are allowed to criticize. You know, it's I've never said that deplatforming is good or that we should be continuing.
But it feels dismissive when you're reading the super chat and you're like, yeah, well, it is my job to
keep
keep
up
brain dead drama.
Like I said, I'm not trying to make this the whole show, and I do want to get through these, and I do feel like I went over a lot.
Yeah, how would you have handled it? Because you said you don't regret having Melanie on. So what would you have done?
A fair question. I would have said, gosh, I would say, do you feel like the fact that you are an employee of Jeremy's keeps you from being, or I don't know, do you think it's a conflict of interests? Because knowing that all this drama is going on and he's your boss, do you feel like that keeps you from honestly criticizing or commenting on what's going on? I think I would point to the fact that, like, hey, like, there is money involved here. You're on the payroll. And we see you also not being, calling this out or like, yeah, if I had these tweets of like, here you are supporting it, here you are laughing this off, here you are, do you feel like this reaction has anything to do with the fact that you work for him? I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you covered this so thoroughly. So it sounds like you're like, maybe sounds like you're getting defensive. You don't feel defensive at all. Again, nobody should be.
Well, I feel lied to, Chrissy, and I don't feel like you're taking accountability.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, Brittany. Again, like how I handled the stream poorly is no reflection on you. And yeah, I'm sorry if you got hurt. I'm sorry if like I explained to you on the phone, like this is a real shitstorm, and I stepped in a real pile of shit, and it's been a really bad week for me, and I'm it seems like a lot of people have sort of been like caught in the crossfires of this. So
I need honesty, and I'm asking you, why are you saying you didn't see it, but there was the red receipt?
Yeah, I'm sorry you feel hurt by that. I think it was just too late in the stream. I was trying to wrap it up. And you don't, I'm sorry if you feel like the way I'm sorry if my stream is making you look bad. Again, like it's the whole point of even tonight's stream is for me to explain what was going on with me and how I dropped the ball. And I don't think it is, you know, I'm sorry you were hurt by it. So I don't know how many times I have to apologize for you feeling, you know, for you being hurt
you
by
lied.
It. Brittany, I was I was looking for you to respond for a while, and then I stopped looking because I was like, I should really focus on my guest. And then by the time I saw it, it was too late to bring you on. And even though you're like, well, it's 40 minutes later, I wasn't planning for it to go 40 minutes longer. I know that, you know, after the fact, it looks like, oh, there was plenty of time to have me on. But at that time, I was trying to wrap it up. All right.
Well, I don't appreciate being lied to. And it's like people are here. They want to hear your side of it. But, you know, you open saying I'm being bullied and then it's like there's lies.
Well, I mean,
it comes across as victimization. I want to hear from Chrissy. I'm talking to her.
I'm not trying to say I'm a victim. I'm just trying to
Then who's bullying you? Like, you should clarify.
I'm just trying to explain what was going on at this time.
But who bullied you? You said you were bullied into this.
I feel like you are bullying me right now by asking me the same question 10 times in a row.
I feel like the Kino Casino was bullied by being deplatformed by Jeremy, and then you lie on your stream, and then you lying about it.
The Kino Casino should get their platform and their show and their channel back.
But that doesn't sound genuine, Chrissy.
I did not associate Jeremy's fuck ups with Melanie. I feel like we've gone over this so many times. You're a very good friend and an even better streamer. I don't think that no one should be giving you crap for anything.
But you're telling me I'm bullying you, so apparently they should, no?
I'm saying
because I'm asking questions about you lying, and now I'm the bully.
I think she's just saying she's feeling overwhelmed.
I'm just saying I'm overwhelmed right now, and I didn't expect you to like.
Because I'm upset that you lied, and then you're calling me a bully after. How am I supposed to accept any sort of apology? How's anybody at this point? Fuck it. Call me a bully if you want, but you can't call me a liar.
No one's calling you a liar. You've done a good job covering everything that's been going on. Okay. How's your weekend? This week, apology was brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. Very funny. Let's see. Why did you lie about not knowing the drama? Like I said before, I knew there was drama. I just didn't think it was something Melanie had to answer for. But again, Jesus himself associated with sinners. And if I were to just platform people who have never sinned, I would have very few guests. Let's see. The dude, having Mel on your stream isn't the issue, and stop gaslighting that it ever was. Ignoring, disrespecting, and lying to your chat is the source of all the anger. Thank you, dude. I understand where this is coming from. At the time, I was just overwhelmed by all the insults, and it was pretty vile. So it was hard for me to put that aside.
Bullying.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read these. Tragically sane, these trolls are insufferable. This obsession these people have with some petty drama between two people is legitimately
deplatforming petty.
They're showing how
deplatforming is not petty drama, and people in the chat who are saying this to you are not helping you right now. They're hurting you.
Yeah.
This is a free speech platform, apparently, so it shouldn't be petty.
Yeah, that's why you're here, Brittany. Cherry, how was your week?
Yeah, but I'm being called a bully for it. I'm apparent like
I think she said she felt bullied.
I've been more than fair. She said she felt like I'm bullying her, and she's calling people SJWs for giving pushback. I don't think it's being unfair to say these things or ask questions or have criticisms about what went down. Because I thought, like, what is the point in the stream otherwise? What is the point?
I just think something's being lost in translation because I think she's obviously overwhelmed.
Well, I'm asking Chrissy, what's the point of the stream?
The point of the stream was for me to go through the concerns that I feel like were voiced over the past few days, and to clarify where I'm at in my personal life, to give that context for people, to let people know I'm not paid by Jeremy. It was a one-time event where he sent coffee to. I wanted to acknowledge I'm not the streamer or person that I was 2 years ago. I am not terminally online, unfortunately. I'm sleep deprived. My content is so different. I'm doing mostly stuff that doesn't require a ton of research up front. Like I figured talking to Melanie about ask me a question, then you interrupt me. That's not fair. I do more streams.
It's an explanation, though. It's the same thing you already said.
Lindsay, are you here to interrupt me, or do you want to listen?
I have lag.
There is lag. Anyway, happy Mother's Day, Cherry. When are you due?
September.
Lindsay, I had my friend Melanie on to talk about my conversion and her getting married. I did not have her on. I did not have her on to talk about deplatforming. I didn't know people would be asking about that because I did not associate Jeremy's fuck ups with Melanie. So that's why I was completely overwhelmed when that all came in. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just, the whole reason for the stream is to give context and explain where I was at. People can believe what they want.
Only for context explain.
People can
non-apology.
And think, Brittany, if you're going to keep interrupting me, I don't see how that's productive. Who would you like me to apologize to? You personally? I feel like you're obsessing about this particular point, and that's not.
It's so if you're lying, it's obsessing. If I point out that you are lying, I'm the bully, and that's obsessing.
Okay, let's try to move on. Lindsay, DC.
No, I don't want to move on, Chrissy. You're collecting super chats.
You can have your own stream where you discuss this at length, Venti, because I feel like I have addressed it.
You really haven't. Your own co-host was affected by this. How can you call yourself free speech? And this is just an explanation, not an apology for anything.
Lindsay, this is not about the stream I did with Melanie was to talk about my conversion and her getting married. Period. I was prepared to do the stream I wanted to do with her. I did not associate her with Jeremy's fuck ups. And Melanie told me it was not a big deal and a nothing burger. It seems like you're upset because I didn't handle this the way you were.
How could you tell?
Do you think
you could have said that she wasn't
not because she was nodding her head? Do you realize how ridiculous that sounds?
I'm not going to be gaslit.
I'm not apologizing. I'm not apologizing for having my friend on to talk about my conversion.
Want you to apologize for that.
And I think it's not about having your friend on from being free speech.
I did not associate her with the quartering's sins and horrible things that he's been doing. I got conflicting messages about the severity and the truth behind the situation. Plus, I was also confused by seeing tweets that involved like, he's a cuck. And so my overall feeling was like, okay, there's drama, but this doesn't have anything to do with Melanie. So I put it aside to focus on what I wanted to talk about Melanie with. I had to come on here and clarify some things and be honest. And that's all we can do. And then it's up to everybody listening to decide how they feel. And I don't have control over how people feel and what people think about it.
Every time I'm saying, hey, this happened, it's like met with like a non-answer.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry you feel hurt. I just got to get through some of these.
This is why the stream is not going to go over well.
You're interrupting me. I would care more about how you look. And
there we go again.
How you're coming off. I'm just saying how I feel in this moment. I just feel like your tone and the way you're talking to me, it doesn't seem friendly. It doesn't seem like you're trying to understand and give me grace. And I know this comes from a frustration that people have. Like they want accountability. They want Melanie to answer for these things. They want quartering to answer for these things. And that outrage is so justified. And again, I hope that these people that really got their livelihoods taken away, I hope their channels are restored. That's the most important part, is that these people were false flagged, and they need to get their channels back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, with this lawsuit. I didn't know that she was pro deplatforming when I had her on. Venti, do you think people who are talking about this happening to me this week are financially benefiting? Maybe
they didn't have Melanie Mack on to sweep for deplatforming. Melanie was sweeping for Jeremy and not addressing the fact that he deplatformed people and reframed it in a very dishonest way. But you were also on there agreeing with her, like, yeah, they're SJWs, it's just leftist, whatever, after you were told about this.
I was also told that it was a nothing burger. So I was receiving different messages, confusing messages, conflicting messages from 2 different friends. So that
explains. But then why agree with her? Why not question her on it then?
Because I was not associating Jeremy's fuck ups with Melanie. It was a real shit show of an interview. I was not prepared for the reaction that I got. I was not prepared to press her on the quartering fuck ups because I didn't think that she had to speak on that and that she was like Jeremy's representative in a sense. I don't want to read negative venting messages. I feel like there's a lot right now. People leg. Chrissy, as a comedian, you should take deplatforming and censorship seriously. This is not just drama. It is absolutely not just drama. It is absolutely something to take seriously. It's not okay. It's all these channels need to be restored. It was not right what Jeremy did. I agree. I'm not going to apologize for having Melanie on to talk about.
Nobody asked you to do that. Please stop reframing it that way. I've corrected you multiple times on this.
Okay. So it seems like you want me to have my channel terminated by having them on because I feel like, and so I'm gonna probably just end it here. I feel like I, said everything I want to say. Thank you, thank you, Cherry, for thank you guys for coming on, and appreciate you guys hearing me out again. Make your own conclusions. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.